Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, live from Studio 630 in the burbs of Chicago. It is time now for another episode of Outside the Box. Outside the Box. With your hosts, Oz Osborne and Pee Wee Taylor.
Okay, everybody, welcome to another episode of Outside the Box video cast with your two hosts, myself, Pee Wee.
And I'm
And
Oz.
my main man, Oz.
Grab a beer, have a seat.
Grab a beer, have a seat. We're going to be here for about an hour, hopefully. So, right off the bat, what have you been up to? What's new in your world, Oz? What have you been working on?
I have been in the garage just a tad bit. But, oh man.
Uh-oh. What'd you do?
Hold on, there we go. We're trying to be technical.
We're trying to be cool.
Glitches. Me? I need to get back to the box. I haven't had any time to work on it, unfortunately. I've been working on a second gen to get it ready for paint. But on mine, I am actually having problems. The car's not running. I got computer codes out the ass, and
Yeah, you've got like, what, 7 codes it's throwing now?
it's throwing 7 codes.
Oh,
and
yeah,
I know what they are.
yeah.
But we just got to look into it. So we're talking about it with some people and whatnot, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
So that's about it on that. Haven't been able to hit any shows or anything. So
Yeah, I don't think I've hit too many shows recently besides the last batch of shows I talked about.
so tell me, what have you done with this beast?
Well, I got a set of LEDs instead of the HID so I can tear out the ugly ballast and the
Dude, how do they look?
poor
I haven't
wiring.
seen them
I
yet.
haven't even plugged them in yet.
What?
I haven't had time.
But
that
you just
night-
said you did.
Well, no, I said I got them. I
Oh.
didn't put them in yet.
Oh, you got to
That I
plan
blew
that.
the airline to my truck horn underneath the car.
I was with you right after the last
It was
podcast.
right after the last podcast. The line blows. All the air rushes out of the tank, and I don't know how, but it took all the air from the bags and just dropped it down. Luckily, we pulled off fast enough, and right away, I'm like, I know what went wrong. And we fixed it right there in the spot. That's the beauty of doing your own stuff, because when it breaks, you know how to fix it.
And that was cool because I was really proud of him because I'm like, well,
30
it's
seconds
this,
for-
and he's like, I already know. Boom,
I
got
already
it.
know, got it.
So
Lesson learned here is when you hook up a train horn or any accessory to your tank, use DOT airlines. Do not use cheap rubbery Chinese hose. That is not DOT approved.
I should beat you with that fucking hose. You should know better than that.
It was well, the fittings I had weren't gonna work on the push to connects were not gonna work. So it was a short-sighted decision. But
Mine actually had them on that when I bought it.
really,
And it was done with I think I remember seeing shit from fucking Home Depot or something on there, and I pulled all that
no.
out. Oh, and it was also swivel adapters for fucking air tools that were on there.
oh yeah,
So
because I saw that on the one bag you had sitting here. I'm like, why is that attached to that bag?
the good thing is I got 4 swivels to use on other shit now. So.
That's true. Those are very usable.
Oh, I didn't hit the repeat on yours.
You didn't hit the repeat? That's all right.
And that's not that computer.
Anyhow, 2 things I want to bring up real quick. The calendar dates for the Scion XB calendar, the dates have changed. They are not the same dates. It is moved up to September 3rd through the 7th, which is a Monday through Friday. That's coming up real soon. So you guys need to go and take your pictures.
Definitely.
Whatever.
You got the weekend, you got next weekend, and then we got to hit it. So
Yeah.
and I'm hoping the picture quality is as good like it was last year. You know, I know some of you guys aren't down with that or photogenic, but you know, even I myself and Kevin and
We have people for that now.
we've got a buddy. I'm like, hey, dude, we got to do a shot because my car does not move and it's got to be in my driveway again. So, but yeah.
The other thing that's coming up is Bovagon 3. That's the 29th of September. That's coming up.
It's coming up pretty quick. Shit.
I don't know what's available parking spot wise, but if you're interested or you're going, make sure that you're.
Look up Box Lifestyle on Instagram or on Facebook.
We want
I'm sure to find
pictures.
it.
We want we want someone to be our eyes and ears down there so we can talk about it.
For sure, we definitely want somebody down there to shoot it. Send us some pictures because we are not going to make it.
Even if you have video, like I think we could for sure use the video on our fancy TV screen.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what I forgot to bring up?
What?
In the spirit of having an XB podcast and an XB lifestyle, I went and bought an XA.
That's not an XB.
It's kind of like an XB.
It is, but you know
it's
what?
one letter away.
I'll accept it. If you
I
take,
need to learn how to drive a manual for my job, and I couldn't find an XB.
you don't know how to drive a manual.
The guy who did my last photo shoot, it was his car, so it felt like a good deal. He was happy that I got it. I was happy that I got it from him.
Fucking hair on my beer. How'd that happen?
I have no idea.
Maybe it's a cobweb. I need a dust in here.
All right, but we want to hit our viewer questions that we had sent in. We're going to talk about crash bars and JDM bumpers.
So I asked about it online. We didn't get too much response, but this is definitely something we want to do in the future. So if you guys have questions, instant messages me or whatever. Try to keep it so that we can do it. You know, we've got 2 questions, and one of them is so broad that I'll discuss it, but we're not going to be able to answer it.
Yeah.
So right now, the crash bar thing. You guys with the JDMs, I know that when you convert it over that the regular crash bar doesn't work. There are ways around it, and you've got to put that on there. I'll tell you from experience, I took my crash bar out when I made my roll pan on the back. I used to have a Thundercloud one, and the reason that I don't is because I didn't put the crash bar back in. And I'll tell you, you don't put that in, and it fucking pushes it in so far that both quarters buckled. Now, think about the front end.
Nice.
There's a little less metal there than there is in the front, or in the, whatever.
Yeah, it's long story short is you can get the crash bars from Japan that bolt on. If you're not going to do that, you want to say like, you know what, I don't feel like shipping a crash bar. That's fine. You either need to weld something up to work or get in contact with somebody who can weld to make something.
What I did on mine is I just got round bar, put it between the rails, and welded it. Now I don't have the support, the structure on the outside of those rails, but it's going to hit the fucking what is it, the overflow reservoir and whatnot.
Yeah,
in there.
It'll do a lot of damage.
It's not a big
like
deal there,
impact.
but you're not coming into the engine. If you're going to total a car, a lot of the times when it comes to that is you're into the block. And if you don't have that crash bar, it's going to happen. Now, our guest, who just so happens to have a JDM front end, he came to me. We talked about it. We sectioned a factory one, cut it down, and welded it in between, and that worked well too.
You could do that too. You just have to have something.
You do have to have a welder. Now, there were some of the guys on the thing that was talking about, I don't have a welder. Okay, well, you can roll over to some welding shop. Every area has a welding shop. We're rural. We've got welding shops everywhere.
Yeah.
Find somebody, go in there and say, hey, you may have to be able to cut it or whatnot, but you can do it. But, it's much better to do that and to not, you don't want to lose your car.
No, it's not worth it because, like, when you crash it and you, like I said, he went through it. It's like, oh, wow, that was stupid, Yeah. Hindsight's 20/20, but from somebody who has personal experience with that dilemma, he can pass that on to you to not have that.
Yeah, and I don't want anybody to get hurt. It's all about. It's one thing to do the mods, but do them safely, guys. First. It's like we say with some of the other stuff. If you're going to be getting your randoed wheel space or the hub mounts, if you're going to do that, don't do it if you don't know how to weld.
Yeah.
Okay. Make sure you get it and know your limitations, because you don't want to do something unsafe and then have your family in the car and then something happen, God forbid. Now, our second question was wheel specs. It's on everybody's mind. It is. It's too hard to answer in this question. Why? Because I don't like the fucking tilty wheel thing. I tuck. So my specs are going to be completely different than your specs.
Right.
The hella flush guys, the fucking poke guys, all that's different. What we will do, and we're not going to do it right now, we will eventually do a video on how to measure your back spacing, which will give you all those measurements. If you have that problem, what you need to do is do a little math. Don't get on the fucking boards and ask everybody else. Look on YouTube. You got YouTube. Look on YouTube. Look up measuring wheel space or whatever, specs, whatever. There's videos. We looked it up this afternoon when we were talking about
because we were talking about that. I'm like, let me confirm that there are videos, and there are videos on how to do it. Because here's the thing with asking the question of, what wheels and what specs will fit. if you leave an XB, a first gen at stock height, you can put anything from 15-inch wheels to 20-inch wheels with any size tire in between. I mean, but once you lower it, you camber it, you're on bags, you're on coils. What do you want the tire to ride like? How do you want it to be super grippy? Do you want comfort?
Everything's different.
Yeah.
You're going to put wheel spacers on it. You want that poke. You want the front to match the back. There's all kinds of different things.
Yeah, there's...
like me, for instance, right now, I got the 20s on it. I got to push it out so I can get away from the bag. My specs are going to be different than everybody else's, and it's all different for everything. I know a lot of you guys are doing the cookie cutter, wanting everything to match, and you ask, but take a few minutes, learn the skill, and do it, and you'll be able to answer that question for your buddies next time.
Well, right, like even myself, like I'm on randoed airbags. I had a set of Mazda Speed 6 wheels, and the offset was wrong by like a ½ inch, and it was touching the bag. So it does make a difference at 0. Like it would drive, it wouldn't touch, but if you drop below like 20 psi in the front, it would rub. But in someone else's XB, that's not the same case. It could be something totally different.
And it was only rubbing on one side. And it's the same with mine. And it's the thing with XBs is different. With the axle size, the short side and the long side are completely different. On mine right now, I'm rubbing the bag on the passenger side, which is the long side. I am not on the driver's side, which is weird, but that's just the way it is. So there's other things like that. And like I said, it's something like that. Learn the skill, expand your knowledge base a little bit, and you're cool with it.
I mean, you might have to play around. I mean, you might have to go for a certain tire size. Because I've had it on my wheels where I've changed the tire. You can get a narrower tire and they fit better, but then it rides like crap. So you have to, I mean, there's a little bit of, if you're buying used wheels and you can play around with that, like Jimmy, who buys, 40 sets of wheels in the span of a car's lifetime.
But the other thing is, too, there's a lot of misknowledge on the freaking internet. So you could be out, and you're going to drop how much money on a set of wheels just over somebody says on the internet.
Yeah, you can't
go on there, do that. Like Kevin, we sat down and measured his and figured it out, and now boom, he can ride at 0. So we're good. So that's that. If you got any questions, hit us up, let us know, and we will put them on here and make you famous.
All right. Now we have a special guest here. He is a Chicago native.
He's definitely been in this garage several times.
He's hot in the scene. He's got one of the sweetest rides out here. Dan, come over here. I don't know how to introduce people, but come on over.
Come on, get in.
Come on down.
Where's your beer at? Oh, look at that. It's in with hand distance.
Got my root beer here.
He goes for the root beer.
It's all good. We ain't going to push anybody to drink, but we want to make sure everybody's hydrated.
We got to stay hydrated.
You can be hydrated. Well, no, Pop dehydrate you too. Never mind. Welcome to
the.
Thank you for having me.
Not that you're new to Wicked Garage, but you're new on our podcast. You are our second guest.
True.
Second guest and the first one that we've had in live, but unfortunately he doesn't drink. But he's drinking with us anyway.
Yeah, it'll work. And then we have guests. We're planning out our guests. Like we have people that want to be on the show that are going to be on the show. We're tying it in. We're timing it out.
And just so you know, he's not that short. We just don't have another stool.
We've got this stool. We've got a Rubbermaid container with a shop stool on top of it.
You didn't have to tell him that.
I'm like balancing right here.
He's fine. He's good.
Yeah, I'm good to go.
Are you? You're probably more comfortable. I think that stool's better than mine.
I think it actually.
Not bad.
I think it actually is. All right, Dan. So let me ask you this, because this is going to be the question for every guest. Like, what turned you on to your XB? Like, what made you go get the XB and go, that's the car. That's going to be it right there.
Well, let's see. I bought it when I turned 21, so about 7 years now. 28. And then I had I guess I would say a Ricer Honda Civic. It was boosted. It had the, flames. It was really nice. It was not super.
Damn, I didn't know you had all that.
I've seen the pictures of it. It's
TVs
total
everywhere.
Like mid-2000s perfection.
Yeah,
and it was all
straight out of
nicely
Fast and
done
Furious.
too. Yeah, it's
body
cool.
kit, neons, wheels, everything.
You need to get us pictures of that. I need to
Yeah,
Oh,
you should have brought pictures. I would have put them up on the thing. But I like to ask people what they've had before or other things they have too, because it ties in a little bit to what brought you to your XB.
Yeah, so after that, that was definitely a summer car. So I didn't drive it in the winter at all. It's just too low. It was on coils, so it was definitely gonna.
What did you do? Drive the XB?
No, not yet. I didn't get it yet. I sold that one.
But you drive this one.
Oh
too.
yeah, that's true. But I got bags on it, so you know.
Yeah, I can't believe you
take-
drive in the winter because I don't mind. Don't drive
Yeah,
in the winter.
not this year. Not with this paint. Ain't going to.
No,
Yeah,
not
for
at
sure,
all.
for sure.
Now that it's all painted and more.
Yeah,
done.
before I was alright with the vinyl, I didn't really care. But yeah, sold that Civic, and then I was looking onto my next car, and I remember seeing those sign commercials. I remember you were talking about them too, with the Deviants and all that.
Yes, I love those
I used to
commercials.
see that, and then I started looking it up, you know, a Scion, and I remember the XB because it kind of caught more attention of the boxy look, and then it was advertised as, you know, the first fully custom car. You know, they had all these options online. You could choose
Right.
color, wheels, all this. It was like that was what it was advertised
Yeah.
to be.
Right.
So I was like, all right, this is something, you know, I could get going on
Yeah.
too. So I started browsing, you know, Craigslist back in the day. I didn't take too long. I think maybe within like a month or two, I found the next B up north of Chicago. When I saw it, you know, I liked it, you know, and I knew this was like the car for me.
Yeah.
Bought it completely stock, you know, on Steelies, and nothing special
yeah.
done to it. So obviously, you know, you gotta start somewhere.
The 16-inch.
Is it 5-speed?
Yeah, man. No, it was it's automatic.
I couldn't remember that.
Yeah, but you know, after that, first thing, wheels, normal stuff, lowering it, and
Right.
yeah, you know, little by little, just.
Well,
kinda
it
into my
starts
way
out
there.
as like, okay, well, we can do this and we can
Yep.
do that, and I'm a prime example of this. And it starts escalating, and it just keeps going.
And it does escalate about the time that he ran into me.
You start out
True.
with like
Very
me,
true.
So like I'm not gonna do anything crazy, and then you meet guys like him who just like gets the sawzall and just goes. He's fearless with the cutting, but
Yeah. First time I remember I was here, he's like, "Well, we can do it this way, or we can do it my way." I'm like, "What's your way?" And he's
What's
like,
your way?
Yeah, he's like, "Well, we cut it, weld it, and you know, there's no going back." I'm like,
no turning back.
I'm like, give me a minute. All right, let's do it.
Yeah, I think I was there for that. He's like, "All right, we're gonna do it your way." I'm
I
like,
am
"Yeah,
a
that-
bad influence. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're a bad influence. So Dan, let's bring it back a little bit to how we all met. Because we were in. When did I meet you? Because we all met through our Facebook page, Chi-Town XB,
Yeah,
which is
definitely.
how I met a
definitely.
lot of the people out here,
Same here.
and how I met this guy.
I'm
The
just trying to
XB
remember
thing
when
is
we
What
met.
definitely.
year was that? I mean, it was hot for a little bit. Like when we got it going, we would
It's
come out
been like 3 or 4 years.
We'd come in 10 deep at least.
Oh yeah,
Three
back
or
in the
four?
day.
I guess
The problem we got is everybody's moving away. Dan.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
Dan's moving out. He's going. By the way, people on the west, he's Vegas bound. That's where he's gonna be. So, and he likes to show. He likes to hang out.
Oh, yeah.
So.
He's doing that just so I can come to Seaman this year or next
Oh,
year.
there you go.
Yeah, that's
Now you
what I
got a
need.
reason to
Another
come.
excuse to go to
Yep.
Vegas. That's what I needed.
Of course. Bring your money because we're going gambling too.
Oh, boy.
I don't gamble.
Oh, you got
I'm
it.
not a gambler either.
I've been to Vegas twice, and I gambled a little bit the last time, just because the girlfriend was like, "Come on,
Try
do
it."
it," and she's like, "Look, I found you a zombie game. All right, I'll do it." 5 minutes
like-
later,
I would probably throw down $20 and go, fuck this shit, I'm done. I lost all my money. Like I don't gamble.
the
Yeah,
the
that's
part
right.
that I'm jealous of though is you get to fucking go to like Vegas Rat Rods. I
Yeah.
went there,
Oh, yeah.
dude. That place kicks ass. I came
We went,
back
2 years ago, right? Or last year?
last year.
Last year, yeah. I remember
Yeah.
seeing all those pictures. That's a definitely nice.
Dude, that place is the shit. I got so
Yeah.
much fucking motivation. I came back and just started letting
Started
weeds
working
grow
on
and shit. Put
Yeah.
garbage in my yard so it looks like them. But
It's the feng shui of the yard. It all makes
It
sense
makes-
when you're here because when you come here, you really like get to see like how it ties in with the lifestyle.
you know the house when you drive by.
When you come up to the studio, there's no doubt you know where you are. Like you're not. Is that his house? You're like, oh no, that's his house. Like
Well, you know it's funny too because like we say that now and it's so easy now. But like when Alan first came by, dude, he drove. It took him like an hour because he would come down and I'm in a valley, so like you come down here and you lose all phone signal.
there's no signal.
Like everybody comes here and they're like
Yeah.
they got to tell their girlfriend or their wife, "Hey, I'm at Oz's house. I'm not gonna have any signal."
I'll call you tomorrow.
Yeah. So then, he comes down and he would like, "I can't find you." And he'd go back up the other hill and I'd be like, "Where you at?" I had to go find him and drag him down and bring him back.
Yeah, it's the GPS
Alan,
too.
I
yeah,
miss
so-
Alan. We miss you. You need to.
We
hit
do.
us up.
We do, man. He said he's coming back for a little
Yeah.
bit.
Is he coming back?
Not to stay. He's going to come visit. So
Well, right. No, I mean, well, maybe if it times out, we can get him on. I don't care if he doesn't. Like, we could have him on the.
Dude, that would be kick ass to
That'd
get
be
him on
cool
the
to
podcast.
have him on the video cast.
Someone
But
from
either
overseas.
way, I would hang out with him regardless.
yeah. Anyway, we got off track.
We did. Get
What were we
a little
talking
off
about?
track. So Dan, what all is done to your XB? Because I'm sure the people are looking at everything done. There's a lot done. Like, you want to just give us the breakdown of everything?
There is a good amount done, and mostly was done over this last winter.
Yeah, it was.
You guys remember what it looked like before?
Yeah.
You know, there was stuff done to it, but I just figured the winter, man, I'm gonna get everything done. You know, as much as I can to completely change the car. You know, from obviously the livery before, the urban camouflage, to
For sure.
actual paint now. Also another influence from you.
I'm glad I could influence on that
Right
one.
away, put it on him. Like, he started putting the heat on him. Like, you got to do away with this.
Yeah.
Vinyl.
He put the-
You should paint it.
He put the paint on. I'm like, fuck you, Dan.
Yeah, I mean, this thing went from being like a really it was like a good street car. Like it caught up a lot of attention to really being like.
He took a lot of heat from
transformed.
us.
I mean, the body work, the paint, it all like came together. Like,
And he took
really
a lot of heat
fast.
from us, man. We were like, come on, dude, you need to do that. And then he paid attention.
Yeah.
I must have fucking Miyagi'd your ass or something.
we were all very pleased with how everything
No,
turned out.
I was
He-
definitely pleased, and I apologize for not being able to help you out, man. I know.
Oh, yeah, no worries. I understand life.
The sad thing is, if you had waited on me, that would be your car right there.
still true.
Yeah, this would be the next one. That would be the next one. Well, because your other half has a second gen, right?
Yes, and same thing. We also, after mine got painted, hers got painted. You know, we had the wheels on it, lowered it. Just little bits and pieces there. I feel like I'm getting close to mine being done. So my money's got to go somewhere, and it seems like our other car now.
When
Yeah.
that's done,
Yeah.
you can go to the second gen.
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
I'll tell,
Well, and
I'll
that's-
tell you what you
Yeah.
need.
And that's good. You can do that. You can primp yours a little bit, and I need this a little bit. But look, we found this, and we can put it on yours.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of things he's not bringing up. Like, first of all, he's got four
Yeah.
racing bucket seats with harnesses, which they are sized to fit the driver.
Just me, a skinny guy.
Let me put the breakdown this way. The driver is about half my size. I went for a ride with him. We were at a show and it rained out. We went to go get we got you an umbrella at Walgreens.
We did. Yep.
And I got in and I said, Dad, I don't know if I can do this. I didn't like, you know what? We're all adults here. I didn't know what to do with my package. I could not, like, my legs were, like, squeezed in there. But it feels cool because it feels, like, very...
Snug. Yeah.
It feels like, dude, when you're in that
Yeah.
seat, you're not going
You're not
anywhere.
going nowhere. It hugs you. You feel safe.
So what did you do with your package?
I think I put it on top of my legs. It was not good. It was very... I was, like,
was
very...
in there for, like,
As soon as I said that,
it
it
was
was
a short,
regretting
it was
it.
it was a short ride. But
Okay, so we're gonna have to get a picture of that and put it on the
No,
Instagram.
you don't want a picture. of
Maybe
that.
not
It
the
was
package
bad.
part.
It was bad, but no, it's really an experience when you're driving it. But what else do we have to talk about? What do you want to talk about, Dan? Like, do you want to ask us anything, or like?
Yeah, let's go. Question: what made you guys want to start a podcast and kind
Oh,
of?
good question. That's a good one.
You know-
Nobody asked us that yet.
Yeah.
I sit there and listen to podcasts all the time at work, and I was listening to the Our Lifestyle podcast, and I get jealous sometimes. I'm listening to this guy's like knows everybody, and I'm like, man, I wish I knew everybody in
We
that.
kind of do.
And then like not in the mini truck world, but
Not in the minute.
and then I was sitting there one day, and somebody said, I was thinking, I'm like, dude, I know everybody in XB world pretty much. So
you do.
Boom, and that was it.
And
Nice,
he's like,
nice.
and the funny thing is, me and him have been joking for a while, and I got into podcasts.
Like he
Like
said
at the
it.
beginning of the year, I'm
I
like,
think so.
dude,
I
you
remember
need to
you
start
saying that,
listening
yeah.
to podcasts
Yeah.
at work, because that's all I do at work is
I
listen to
remember you saying that,
podcasts.
yeah.
I listen to the Smoking Tire. I listen to a bunch of.
And he brought it up.
There goes the seat.
Oh, man
Damn,
down.
he brought it up
Okay.
about it, and I said, nah, we don't got fucking time
I
for
said,
that.
I'm like,
We're building
I listened
cars.
to a podcast. He's like, I don't have time for that. And then you're like, and then he comes up to me like he's got this new idea. He's like, hey, let's start a podcast. I'm
And you're
like,
like,
yeah, let's go. I'm game. And we have the topic of XBs. He's balls
Yeah,
deep in
there
the
you go.
scene, and I feel like I'm heading that way. And
Oh shit!
who's ringing?
Time to go get my daughter.
Oh well.
I
you
did
have to
that
go
like
get her today, or
no, I
no?
did that weeks ago. I don't know why.
Oh, I don't know why you're.
I-
That alarm went off last time too, didn't it?
It did. And I keep forgetting to turn it off. But yeah, that's the answer to that. But
Yeah, we just felt like it was the thing to do, and it seems that we're getting the positive feedback we were
oh
hoping
yeah, of course. I see. You guys are getting views up there, and everyone's kind of like.
It's
you know,
getting there. I
definitely
mean, it's a
into- yeah,
slow
of course.
start,
But-
but you
Yeah.
got to start somewhere.
Of course.
and we want to try to. It seems like the culture is going downhill. We want to bring it back a little bit. Hopefully, this will get people. And I love to see the people out there in the garages working. I love the fact that you did it, and coming out hard. And I've had people that have messaged me and said, "Dude, I got so much motivation by that," and that's what I want.
Yeah, that's what we're about. Is motivation's half the battle when it comes to
it. Is
It really is.
I have trouble getting in the garage. I use Instagram and Facebook to post pictures up, and that gets me in the garage and whatnot. And
you have a TV, which helps.
Well,
You
but
watch the
no,
Kaluki
just
channel.
getting shit in the garage and getting going. It's
Getting
hard.
going, I know. I mean, life gets in the way too. Obviously, we all got
Yeah.
everything
That's-
to do
that's
besides
half the
cars.
battle, too.
Of course.
I mean-
But you know
gotta
what?
figure out time.
You know what? You got to set things up like this. This TV here. This is what I'm doing while I'm standing on that. And make it comfortable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
My daughter will come out here and sit in a chair and watch TV, and I'm working
you
on
do
this,
is
and we're
See
talking.
now, and I'm going to show you the opposite side of that. Is that I don't even have a garage, so all my projects either happen here or on my driveway.
Same thing,
But it's
I don't
more
have a
fun to do
garage.
it here because.
But I will say, sometimes you turn on the Kalupi channel, and then you're just like,
oh
"Man,
yeah,
I
you
can't
can get
fucking
all
see."
derailed, and, but.
No, I feel I'm same thing. Whenever I have to do something in my car, it's in my garage, usually in the heat, or I try to do it when it's right before it's gonna rain. And that also.
Oh, I've had projects
at
that-
night have my
yeah.
Big light on me so I could see. When
You
I
got a
installed
floodlight?
when I installed the bucket seats, I think we did that from like 9 to 12 at night. Me and my
That's
dad.
the best.
Yeah, because I got the brackets during the day from Scotty.
Yeah.
He helped me out. Shout out to Sunset. He helped me out with the brackets, and then me and my dad, we spent like 4 hours doing that. It took a while because they're already low. The bracket was already, also helping me get lower to the ground. So I had like this much to get a bolt in there and then a wrench. So I was doing like quarter turns forever.
Is that the front or the back?
The back ones.
Yeah, I was gonna say the
Yeah,
back. Now, did
that-
you make a frame for them to bolt in and everything?
Yes, yeah, that's what he helped me. We made just like kind of rectangular brackets. So we use all the stock bolts where the stock seats hold them.
Nice.
Same exact bolts, just bolt it down. Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
what like I said, dead at night. We use my phone, flashlights, and then a big floodlight to get it all in there.
Right.
That's the way to do it.
And that's
It's
it.
It's
And
time.
And some of these guys, they sit there and what were we talking about? Oh, we were talking about Hot Wheels shit, and they were talking about the collectors. I've never found a super treasure hunt. Well, you got to think of it the same way as the thought thing. Dan's in the garage doing his shit,
Yep.
or out in the driveway with the flashlight. He did
Right.
it, and then you got this. Okay, if you're sitting there watching the Kardashians,
Yes.
or
You're playing Candy Crush or
the Kalupi channel too
whatever
much.
people do.
But if you're doing that and you're not, then you're going to think when you go to the shows next year, you don't have any reason to bitch because we're in the garage.
Yeah, put time into it.
And that's, I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm just saying, hey, this is it. Get in the garage and do it because
Well,
I
you
want
gotta-
everybody
if
to
you
go
don't
there.
do it, if you don't do it, nobody else is gonna do it for you. So.
But yeah, I'm so cool. It's so stoked, dude.
But that brings me back to the whole networking thing. Like, you got to go out and you have to, network with people. Like, you got the seat brackets because you connected with our people and, who you hooked up with, the guy
For
that
sure.
painted and did some of the body work. And then you
Yep.
hooked up with him. And, I do wood. I do woodwork. So,
Yeah, it's just little bits and pieces from everyone here and there. If my car was more towards like that wood theme,
you
you'd be
can't,
my go-to
you can't
guy,
do wood.
but
You're
yeah,
too far
mine's-
set.
Here's-
I'm on the
here's
other
that.
side of
You're
the
on,
spectrum.
you're
that.
on the JDM.
Yeah.
But you know what? The wood floor thing is really overdone.
Dude,
Yeah.
you know what? I'm seeing more, and I've always been into that. They've been doing that in truck beds since,
true.
back in the 30s or whatever, when they actually had to do that because they didn't know what else to do.
Is there anything in that?
So I got a little bit left.
Well, here, I brought you another one.
All right, good.
He's
I'm
come
probably
prepared.
good. All right. Come prepared to class. But I'm seeing more and more, like every show I go to, every trunk,
floor, yeah.
it's a wood floor,
floor,
and
yep.
I'm like, oh, because a lot of the times I see it, and I like, and this is not to pick out on anybody, because it's like, it's something you can do. You have to do the work and cut it, but it's like, I see the linoleum, like the pergo floors.
Yeah, the laminate.
That gets me. I can't. I mean,
I got a laminate floor.
I do wood. I have access to stuff that people don't even
Yep.
know
Exist.
exactly.
And that's
So like my skill set with that goes far beyond what somebody who builds
Yeah.
a Honda Civic or something.
And that's just it. People, you network, you talk to the guys at the show, you hang out with clubs. I know clubs aren't always everybody's thing.
It's not everybody's thing.
but it's about that because I hear a lot of people, they're like, oh, I don't know how to do that. Well, you can try, and don't worry about making your mistakes, but you can also find other people. And I myself, I was the type of guy that I just want to do everything myself so I can go, yeah. But you know what? some shit looked like shit. And now I got a wood floor, and I got some other
Which
shit.
is all coming out, and we're going to do something better. I mean, that was kind of a test pilot for me when I did that floor because, like, I never done anything like that. I'm like, okay, I think I know how I'm going to do it. I'm like, well, what do you want? You're like, I want this, 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 and that. And I was just getting too carried away with it. And you're like, just do it. I'm like,
Well,
all right.
It's like everything, you know. My girlfriend, she's working on a project at home. She works at a eyeglass place, ophthalmologist office, whatnot. She's got all these glasses, and she's trying to make like a stained glass thing out of it.
Dope.
Oh,
And
that's neat.
it's fucking cool. And she's like, "Well, is it cool?" And I go, "Yeah, it's cool." Well, it looks like a fifth grader did it, and it's like it's your first one, you know. The second one will be better, and the next one will be better, and that. And it's the same with this, you know. Yeah, you may get clowned a little bit, but learn from it. I'll tell you right now, I would not be here if it wasn't for an old guy that I was driving through a car show at McDonald's, local cruise night, right? This fucking old guy's like, drive daddy's car home. And I not only did daddy not buy it, but daddy didn't do all the work on it either. But you know what? I went in the fucking garage and did twice as much so that the next time.
That's that motivation. That's
Old
that push
people,
you need.
old
Yeah.
people are a catch-22 because now I'm not picking on old people, but like I deal with some of these winga-dinga types, and it's like,
Was that a racial slur?
no, it's not a racial slur. Like, you know, the show is like winga-dinga-dinga-dinga-ding, like old people like.
But you can do that when it's a redneck. It's
But
not a
here's the
racial
thing, I'm
slur.
gonna go a little off topic here real quick. I deal with three major questions when I'm at the show. Did you do the sunroof? Is that on hydraulics? And what kind of car is that?
Look at
And
the
did-
license
and
plate.
the other one is, did you do that? And I go, yes, with help on some stuff. Like, I've done stuff myself, but like the hatch I had help with, and
But that's it.
the rag top, that's not a one-man job. And I saw it come up on one of the forums. They were talking about, somebody was talking about a rag top. They're like, oh, you could do, somebody goes, oh, you could do that in an hour. I'm like, that does not take just an hour.
You can do it in an hour,
You
but it's
can
going to
do it
leak,
in an
and it's going to
hour.
be crooked.
It takes you an hour
Just
just
to
to
get the measurements
fucking,
and stuff.
you know, put the tape lines
Yeah,
down
yeah.
and make sure it's right. You know, like it takes at least an hour and a half to rip the headliner out properly.
Yeah.
I mean,
But you know
it's
what?
not an easy job, like, but it's not impossible.
Something I want to bring up that's kind of on that topic, and like Pee Wee here knows for sure because I bust his balls all the time,
He busts
and I
his
want to let people know because it's hard to see on, you know, you can't see sarcasm on the internet or whatnot, but you know, even things like last episode I gave shit to fucking Crystal about hers. Now I don't do that to be an asshole. I do that
Right.
because like my motivation was from that old guy and I would have done it. And I hope people understand that when I'm fucking giving you a hard time online or the boards or whatnot,
you.
It's
that's
hard
that's
to
a
pick
push.
that up online, but like,
Oh, it's very hard. Like some of the people that are out there, maybe Bobbert, right? I know Eric
oh,
Bruce.
Bobbert's a ball
They
buster.
might come out as like, you know, an asshole. No offense to you guys, but
Oh, you
you
get
know,
offended,
Eric
I don't
does
care.
it because he's knowledgeable. You know, he's probably
Uh-huh.
very knowledgeable when it comes
Yeah.
to JDM and stuff like that.
He's an old head too.
Oh yeah,
He's been
but
doing
you
it
know,
for a long
like
time,
he even
too.
said it like, you know, I may bust your balls online, but message me and you know I'll give you all the information you need. And I've come to him a couple of times with stuff for my car, and it's definitely been helpful. You know, but it's just the way. That's the way to come off to get someone to do it themselves. You can't be like, oh man, the 3 lights came on.
Right.
What does this mean? Like, you know.
The 3 lights.
Yeah, and we all,
gosh.
not only that,
Always.
we get tired of seeing that shit. So some of
Yeah,
us are a little,
exactly.
but you know,
Yep.
And you can find the information on forums. It's out there. You can go
Oh, it
on
is.
Club XB.
Yeah.
You know, there you can go to.
but you know
what's
what?
the
I
other
get
one?
lazy too. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
I mean,
of
I'm
course,
not
of
gonna
course.
say like I've never asked like a lazy question.
Like on group chat for our fucking club, it's like, oh, I don't remember the address, guys. I got it on my phone, but it's easier to
I
go.
do that
"Eh."
all the time. I'm like,
Yeah.
I've been to our guy's house 5 times. What's your address? Like,
Just because it's easier to ask than to
Just
search
I
for
want
it.
I want the talking lady in the box to tell me where to go. You know.
But yeah. So
So.
So, is there any other cool stories about your XB that you want to tell us? Like any, I don't know, maybe a
Just
funny
like bits and
story?
pieces.
Yeah, give me some
funny
bits
stories,
and pieces. Tell me things. Tell us something we don't know.
Stuff you don't know.
Yeah,
Ooh.
tee me something I don't.
I don't know,
Unless
I mean,
Pee
I'm
Wee's
kind of,
going deep.
I'm kind of out there with
Plus
like
it's
when I
scandalous.
do stuff on my XB. You know, I kind of try to tease it here and there, but I always give credit to whoever helps me or does this and that. You know,
Yeah.
I like the attention.
For sure.
Like,
It
obviously
gets-
my car was purple, and before the way it was, it's intention getter. I've always liked the
It's
attention.
always been, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's not that I'm lonely or anything like that.
It was
No.
aggravating
I like people
because
being like, what the heck, or wow, or stuff like that,
Yeah.
whatever it is,
yeah.
And that's the sad thing about not driving it daily. I miss that. Like right now,
yeah, of
I
course.
missed a whole season of that.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
dude, what the hell? I'm a completely different person when I'm in my XB. I'm more an asshole. I'll admit that. But
Well, yeah, I mean, I drive mine more often than I maybe should. Like, it sits outside, so sometimes I'll just drive. I'm like, well, it's gonna sit outside. I might as well just
drive
drive
it anyways. Yeah, of course.
But
you,
like,
you do
sometimes-
realize that the
What?
booby pick is not working. We are
Dude,
not looking
I know.
at it.
We gotta put the screen underneath the camera.
I'm
It's-
sorry. We will do that next time.
Yeah,
Continue on, Pee Wee. I'm sorry.
I just totally derailed. We were talking.
I did, and I-
talking about.
Just bits and pieces, I guess, but.
But I drive mine more than I should. I'll drive
Yep.
it to work. I'm like, oh, it's Tuesday. I'm gonna drive the XP.
Why not?
Why not?
Yeah,
if
might
you
as
can
well.
drive it, why not? Like,
Exactly, man. I mean, mine
when
right
it's-
now is the daily driver. It still is.
When there's
I drive it here and
a
there.
2-inch thick layer of salt on the ground in the
Yeah.
middle of January, I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not
Yeah,
doing that.
you'll
Unless I'm
second
going
guess
to
it.
LST.
So tell us, you're moving to Vegas.
Moving to Vegas.
You're leaving us.
Yep, and end of September, correct? Yep. It's definitely gonna be sad to see, all these friends I made here with all the car guys, all the Chi-Town XPs, everyone else that's not obviously doesn't have an XP either, but
Yeah, there's a lot of people that know you.
yeah,
out here,
definitely,
too.
exactly, and it was definitely fun, hanging out with you guys, cruising with you guys, you guys obviously made me one of the family, every time we go, we have an event or
Right.
something, like, hey, roll in with us, this and that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
and a lot of the Sunset guys wanted to, say, hey, what's up, because
Mhm.
we wanted to get
Oh, man.
together, and unfortunately,
Yeah.
you're going to just miss our
I
party.
know, yeah, just
Which-
a few days.
Which I want to bring up too, just to you guys. If you're in the area, Travis Rake, you want to come up? We're having a end of the season party here at the shop party or whatever,
Shop, studio,
whatever the house. You can hit me up and I can let you guys know where we are. We're more than welcome to let anybody who is a viewer to come check it out and hang out. It's just an end of the season party. It is a Sunday. I think it's the 30th of next
about
month,
right.
if I remember.
And that's the other thing too. Like, Dan's not a member of our chapter, but like, he comes to all our shows. We're like, okay, we're going. Dan's like, all right, I'm going too. Like, all right, well, come park next to us. Come hang out with us. He'll hold parking spots for us. And we
Yeah,
have a
and
couple. We have a couple people like that. People we've just met over time that
Yep.
just.
And that's the coolest
Come
part
fuck
about
with
it,
us.
dude. We know
Yeah.
Tony with the Odyssey and all them,
Chris.
Oh,
Chris,
Tony's great.
and whatnot, and
Yeah.
those guys fit in great. But some people's the club thing's not for them. And unfortunately, with Dan, I think he was cool with it, but we were always trying to fudge the line to get you in, but you
Yeah,
didn't
like-
quite.
I was
I mean,
always on
we're
that border.
mini
I'm
truck
like, yeah, let me
dedicated.
get a
It's
little
like-
time and stuff.
Yeah.
You're on your own. You're on your own beated drum. You go to the beat of your own drum.
Well, and that's good. And unfortunately, with our
Yeah.
club, it's got like mini truck style. And before we could have done it, but now it's like, no, that's
Bam.
not a mini truck.
Yeah.
And I don't
Yeah,
blame you for
it's-
going that route.
No, because it's totally cool, and you've got all the bits. You've got all the cool bits too. Like, I hate to sit here and play up the JDM thing because I think it's played out, but
I don't
if
think
you're
it's
gonna
really
go-
JDM. Well, I
if
guess
you're
it
gonna
is.
go JDM, he's done like what you have to do to pull it off. Like, he's got the handmade flares, he's got the crazy paint, he's got the wheel set, he's got the wheel sizing and the tires just right. But
Right.
like, you've got all the odd bits too. I mean, he's got the visors.
The window
He's got the
stickers,
visors,
yep.
the stickers, the hatch. What else do you have that I'm not thinking of?
I mean, just like JDM BB parts.
Yeah,
like
all
you
the
said, the
BB
front
stuff.
bumper. I used to have the rear bumper before we chopped it up. The power folding mirrors. What else? The mats.
You got those fog lights too, those custom fog lights.
Yeah, and
That-
then the.
That's
fog
a
lights.
story right there.
Yeah, remember that was all you. That was all you.
I was like, hey, though, you know what would look really good right there is some fog lights.
I'm going to tell you a quick thing.
Oh yes.
Invest in a good welding
We
blanket.
did right after.
And we
that.
did. Unfortunately,
That's right.
the fog lights on his car was an afterthought as we were. What the hell were we welding?
We were welding.
The hood. You were doing.
hood,
Oh, we were
you
doing the-
we were doing that hood,
over
yes.
scoop. Wait, we'll show it to you right now. We're coming
Yes.
around the.
Oh, that's a long time. But anyway, we were doing the hood, and spark went down and melted the bumper, and we're like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah,
Well, the
and it
blanket
was-
caught on fire.
Yeah.
It went
And
through.
he's like, and he wrecked it. I'm like, oh, dude, that sucks. And I'm like, hey, you know what you could do? Cut out a square hole on the other side of it and put fog lights in.
Yeah, and that's what we did.
And if we didn't tell you that, you wouldn't know. You heard it here first.
There they are.
Here,
There's
there
those
they are
little two
right there.
ones,
You
yep.
see the fog lights in the hood? Like,
Yes.
Yep.
I
that
wanted to
hood is
get rid of
custom.
something. I had to cut up a Japanese bumper.
That hood
That's
is
it.
custom.
Yeah.
That is not something you can buy. That's why it's
That's
cool,
something you
too.
burn.
No, and yeah, that bumper, the hood is what people go nuts
Yes,
about, and I
that
can't,
too, yeah.
I can't get it, understand it. It's cool and all, but
I like it.
But people just go nuts over yours
wanna know
and
where to
Alan's
get it.
both.
Yeah, they're like, hey, would you get that? Or,
There's
"How
only
is that?"
3 of them from what I know. Alan's, his, and there's some guy in Japan that made one.
There's a couple of people
I think there's
making them
others.
now. I've seen a couple of guys.
Is there?
You know,
Good.
Yeah,
Get out there and
because
make
they're like,
something.
hey, how did this happen? I'm like, well, you take another piece of a hood, you know, get
This
it on there.
job
Well,
takes 2 hoods.
yeah, exactly. And he's like,
You know what?
Let me think about that. I don't want to chop up a hood you sit. I'm like, well, if you don't
Yeah,
try,
just-
you're never gonna get it.
Just do it.
Yeah.
But
Well, I'm buying Travis Rake's hood. Actually, I already paid for it. So
yeah, and I already got ideas for that.
yeah, the ideas are brewing. I just know I'm like, whatever we do, I'm probably gonna need a second hood. So I was he cut,
Just in
we,
case.
we,
Well,
we worked out a deal, and
The sad thing is, after Dan bought the 2 hoods, I did figure out a way of doing it because on mine I extended it using a different way, and it worked out. And I know how to do it a little better, but that's it. You know, each time it's a little different because
Yeah.
I think when I did Alan's, it was the same thing. I had like an old hood sitting here, and he was like,
Correct,
"Dude, I want this hood." I'm like, "You want it now?"
you want it right now?
And I went and grabbed a hood and cut it, and we put it up there, and
Yep.
he drove home with the hood.
Yeah.
And you know, so that's why I told you. And then when I was doing mine, I'm a cheap ass. And I'm like, I'm not buying a
There's
fucking
a
hood.
Hold the
phrase.
hood.
There's a phrase. It's like there's 1,000 ways to skin a dead cat, right?
Yeah.
That's your. That's well, it's not your phrase, but you drop it enough that.
You know what? I don't.
I think of you.
And I'll ask you this because I don't think I remember doing it. Did we do anything with your hood opening thing to build?
No,
Oh,
on
yeah.
mine was okay.
Was
I
it?
remember you were saying
Can you reach
Allen's.
it?
Yeah, I can
Okay.
reach it. Now it's a little more troublesome because I have those password JDM covers. So there's
Oh.
I do have to
Yeah,
play
yeah.
with it. But before when we did it, all I gotta do is just stick my 2 fingers in it like regular.
Oh,
Just open it.
okay.
Yep. Nothing. No.
Just gotta
Yeah,
find the
just
spot. You
gotta
gotta
get
find
it
the
in
spot.
there.
It's a G spot. I'm the same way with opening my hatch, just because I can't
Yeah.
remember where the fuck I put the button.
Oh, the best part. Well, I had the bumper. I had the same way, and then I relocated the button. And I get this question a lot from people. I relocated underneath
bumper.
the license
Yeah.
plate brackets, and I used a button out of a Chevy Sonic, and I took a bunch of silicone steel with and sealed it all in.
Why didn't we use your original one?
We did use the. No, we did not. I went and got one out of a junkyard. It was like $4 or something.
Yeah, you don't like to.
I could have used I could have used the original one, but I still have the original hatch for some stupid reason.
So if you need a hatch,
Just in case.
and if you want it shaved,
Yeah.
we can hook you up.
There
We
you
could
go.
do
There
that.
you
We
go.
actually had a member of a forum ask me about my hatch because he was having somebody did his before and wanted to know how to fix it. So, and I said, I told him, I said I had a lot of help. I'm like, I gave him I said you could use a thinner gauge steel, but I think I'm gonna refer him to you.
Well, wasn't there was a guy
And
just
I-
recently who
I
did
think
that.
it's savable because he's like, well, it's like spot welded in. I'm like, yeah, I think you can fix that.
The one guy that was online with the first gen that did
Yeah,
that.
and this is not
yeah.
against him. This is like I want to help the guy out because he's like, he's like, well, and
Well,
supposedly they use like 3-inch plate.
Ooh.
He's like, I'm like, whoa.
That
They
that would
built it
explain
he
them
goes
welds.
to me, he's like, it's bulletproof. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah,
it
it
is.
is.
Sure.
You got
But no,
the
he was
you
a
got the
cool cat,
fucking
and we're gonna-
tombstone on that for fucking.
I know I blew you off on Messenger, but we'll help. Well, I'll try
He'll
and
get back
I'll
to
try
you.
and get you helped out.
Yeah,
We'll
that damn 3. No wonder those welds
Dude,
were that
well,
bad.
he didn't do it. It was somebody else.
I know he
that did it,
had
but-
somebody else do it. And the problem with that is,
We
and
can-
to do
we can
the,
fix it.
the only thing though in doing that, it is if you're going to shave it, especially on the first gens, there's that little body line in the very bottom where it freaking bends,
Yep.
Yeah.
and you can fuck it up so bad. But there it is right there. That line,
that-
when
that
you're doing
line.
that, you need to freaking bend that metal to get that line and start it. Otherwise, it's going to be messed up.
With a thinner
And
gauge,
with the-
you can kind of.
Right, and if he's
Yeah,
running
get it
3
close.
the plate
Yeah,
steel,
that's
damn dude.
insane.
Well, I think he just. I don't know, but like.
Well, and
in
here's
the
the-
pictures. It doesn't look bad, but like I don't know what it looks like in person. I mean,
Well,
you
here's
might
the
get that
problem.
person and go,
He
"Whoa."
it's probably warped to shit because to weld the plate and that that sheet metal is
That's
thin
fine.
as hell.
Well, he said it's like tack welded in. He said it's like got like a couple spot welds.
Yep.
But you
He
got to
said they
heat
didn't go to
that.
town, but there's a lot of
You
got to
heat the shit out of that plate and then get it to go. Like I was doing it just when I was doing my rail on mine.
Yeah.
Because I had to go from
Yeah.
plate to that.
Yep.
And you got to fucking sit there and get it hot and then just whoop, and you're done. And you're done.
Yeah,
Otherwise, it will burn right through.
Yeah.
And that metal on these hatches are thin.
Yeah, well, and the problem, especially with the XB, the first gen, it's a little smaller. I think this one's definitely a little bigger.
Yeah, the second gen is definitely
but-
bigger than the first gen.
The structure of that, the license plate is actually giving it structure so that when you're welding on it, it won't warp as bad. But when it's completely flat, and you've got if you cut that shit out, you're fucked.
Yeah, like I even suggested, I'm like, do you cut it out? And you're like, no, absolutely
Yeah.
not.
Yep.
Leave it.
No, you need that structure
We'll
in there,
seal
otherwise
it in
it'll
and
just.
get it all so it won't rust. But
Yeah.
but from what he told me and explained it makes sense to just leave that part and then go on top
Go
of that.
over it, yeah.
Yeah. And there's always ways, and just ask. Unfortunately, I hate it, and that's a problem when
Well,
you get
that's the
into
thing,
those
you're
situations.
Kind of popular, so you have a lot of people that like to ask you a lot of
Well,
questions.
and I don't have a problem with that, but the problem is this: that poor guy, he did that. He gave his car to somebody that he thought he could
Or
trust.
maybe I
And
don't know how he
doing.
got. I don't know if he got it like that or who.
Well,
whatever
but
the
if you're doing
scenario
that, you
was,
need to
but-
know who you're going to
Yes.
see and what you're doing because we all make mistakes.
I think it's fixable. I think from the
It's
pictures I've
possible.
seen, I think it's fixable. I don't know. But
Anything's
I'll
fixable.
I'll get back to you. I don't remember your name, but I will.
Way to go! Take
I'm
notes.
sorry. It's whatever.
We only know people by their cars.
I
Yeah.
know people buy their cars.
He's got the XB with the
Yeah.
hatch. It's all
Yep,
jacked up.
Exactly. You get the
Well,
red one. He's got the blue
yeah.
one. He's got this
I
one.
mean, the funny thing is, in pictures, it doesn't look that bad. It really doesn't.
And that's.
It doesn't look finished.
But
it
you've
doesn't.
also got to have an eye to it too. There's times I've been online and I've looked at people doing body work and I can look at the metal sticking out, going, "That's high, that's high, that's high," and I know,
You know where's that?
but it's just from doing it. Weld's a little different.
I'm not perfect.
I'll tell you what, I've hidden a lot of shit in pictures from my welds just because it hides.
Everybody knows the right angle to take the picture of their car.
Yeah, right.
I mean, everybody's got to hide a little sin, and everyone's got love marks too. Like you get a scuff on the door, you like scuff something like I scuffed part of the roof doing the rag top. You don't see it in pictures.
That's not the love marks I was thinking.
Ooh, what are we talking about here?
Oh no!
Anyway,
Yeah,
so we're getting close to the end here.
we're getting close to
Well, you know what,
we're about
maybe.
45-minute mark.
I'll tell you what though, it's
chopping it up.
definitely a lot more comfortable now. We gotta.
Yeah, I'm feeling a little more relaxed doing this. I feel like I'm getting used to
Everything's just kind of fluid, one fluid
talking to
motion.
everybody.
I almost feel like we're on the fucking what's that show with all the old ladies that talk about politics and
The
stuff.
View.
The
You're
View.
thinking of The View.
Welcome
And
to
I don't
the
know-
Scion View.
I don't really want to explain why I know what you're talking about. But
I know, but it almost
I've
feels
never
that way.
watched it, but I know what you're talking
Yeah.
about.
That's all you got.
No, this is like, what is this like? It's like a good talk show, but it's not like, I don't know.
Well, you know what? And we were talking about this earlier. I listen to a lot of podcasts, and dude, I'm like, listen, most of the car shit sucks. And
dude, yeah, we had a whole conversation.
And we were just talking about bringing something up, and this is a perfect segue for it. Okay, I want to talk about some terminology a little bit. I want to talk about the difference between a car enthusiast and a car guy. Okay,
Yeah, go.
a
Let
car
that take a minute.
A
Sit
car
down.
enthusiast is a guy that's like watching the Cubs or the Bears or wherever your sport team is. You know all the facts, you know all the players, and you know all that, but you don't do it. Your hands don't get dirty. You've never picked up a baseball or a freaking baseball bat.
I
Now,
never have, but I'm
the
not-
difference between that and a car guy is in the garage. He's getting his hands dirty. He's putting in the fucking seats with his dad. He's doing all this shit to get out there. And there's a big difference between that because I see, it. I know there's people that don't understand it from the built not versus bought thing, but there's a big difference when you're on the other side of the guy. You see the guys that are buying cars and they're like, I'm an XB guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
You didn't put in the work. You bought fucking so-and-so's car. And the rest of us kind of like, yeah, whatever.
Now, I'm going to step in and say, like, you can buy someone else's car and build upon it, but, like, I don't know. I think,
Well, if you're going to buy something, add to it, change it, make it your own.
I mean,
And
people have done that before, and people have really done, you know.
But yeah, and I'll tell you what, in the XB world, it's not really that. I think most people do.
I think a lot of people go ground up. I've seen a handful of XBs that like really jump out at me that I've seen go up for sale. I lose track of whether they sell or not, but like, if you're in the XB world and you sell an XB as somebody who built one, I feel like buying them is safer than just going out and buying somebody's.
Well, it is, but
crap
then
off
you know
of
what?
Craigslist, you know?
What drives me nuts is when you see like mini truckers do this a lot, and my thing is, and I was just telling Kevin, I'm going to make a sticker that says "Ownership of a mini truck does not make you a mini trucker," and this is the this is the reason for it. You know, I was at Camp and Drag, and I saw one of the guys I work with's car that he sold, same as it was, in a huge club. And I'm thinking to myself, now that guy's going to look down on me because he's in the big club. But I'm going to look down on him because I know he bought his car and didn't build it. And that's...
I mean, I don't know if I look down on that, but I have much more appreciation for somebody who goes ground zero.
Maybe that's a little better as saying it, but
yeah,
you know,
I mean,
you do...
Like, I think you're putting that harshly. That like you're like, oh, I look down on that. Like,
Well-
I don't know if I look down on that, but I appreciate like. I can respect somebody buying something that was like already bagged or whatever and taking it to the next level or doing it all different. Or,
Instead of just leaving it as is.
Yeah, but you know what? It
but there's
pisses me
people who
off.
will buy stuff and not touch it
Yeah.
for years. For
True.
years. I'm not talking somebody who buys something and pulls it out and shows it for a couple months or a year or two or whatever. I'm talking like people who go years on a car that was purchased.
Yeah, but
That
you know what?
happens.
It almost gets kind of jealous-like because you see those guys there and it's like, you see them and they look at you like, you're not shit. And I'm like, it gets to me because I'm like, dude, I spent
Well,
my time in the garage.
It
You just
hurts
fucking
when
put out your
you
fucking
built
wallet.
it and it's like doesn't get the love. I don't know if that's a jealousy thing or but like.
I don't know. It's just some
But
part of me. that-
I understand that frustration too because I see it, I experience it.
And that's just that, you know, that's more, like I said, that's more mini truck shit than this. You know, most of the guys in
Yeah,
the XB
that's more
world
of
will
a
build
mini
it.
truck issue than an XB issue because I don't see the whole, I'm going to sell this and buy it and, you know, because
Well-
I think with XB people, I think XB people are usually prone to doing, you know, I think it's different. You can't really.
It is. It's a little bit different. There's a couple of them like that. And like I said, most people do kind of build on it. But, you know, I don't know. Rando's XB, which has kind of disappeared.
It's still the same.
It's still the same.
And
Yeah,
here's the
that
thing
was
with
years.
that. Now,
That was
here's the flip side of that. When you build something way over the top like that, and it can go years without people screwing with it or changing the color or, you know, completely changing it altogether, it's cool to see it. Because I saw it pop up for sale, and I'm like, that's Dode's XB.
Yeah.
I
Right away,
recognized
of
it,
course.
and everything in it was the way he left it. It had a few more miles on it, but
Well, and
whoever
but
had it
that's the
took care of
fine
it,
line
you
too,
know.
and it's the way it is with the mini truck world too. Now, they've got what they call the Icon mini trucks. If you were going to say there's an Icon XB, it's going to be Rando's. You know, his and Butters, those two there should never ever be changed.
No,
You know,
because those have hit a point where people,
Instantly
like I
doesn't.
remember that, you remember that in ways I probably don't even understand. I mean, there's a lot of XB people that know that XB, they know Butters XB, like the orange one that, well, I mean, Scion paid for that one to be built. That orange
The
one,
DJ
that
one?
wide body, that,
Yeah, that's no more.
yeah, they crushed it,
Yep.
Yeah,
which I think is bogus.
yeah,
Which
that
Scion-
again's an Icon.
Toyota, you should not have crushed that, but whatever. That's
Okay,
fine.
well let's do this.
Yeah, there's no support for Scion anyway besides parts,
Here's something that
That's
we
it.
can do.
you know.
You guys out there, we're watching this. What do
there.
you guys consider Icon XBs?
What
You know,
I
let us
think
know.
this has been brought up before, like, oh, like what's your three favorites? But like, I think that's different from.
Yeah, I think there's you can have a favorite and it's not an icon, but what
Yeah.
you know what XBs are out there that, and when I say icon, that should never ever be changed. And don't say mine because it's always going to change.
Yeah, you every season. I'm pretty sure I have your car looking 5 different ways.
Well, you know,
those pictures, yeah, we've
I'm
taken.
kind of upset because like
It's not done.
if you ask me, like we're getting ready to do the camera thing or the calendar thing, and it's like, yeah, mine's different, but it's still the same design, same
It
paint
still
job.
feels okay, but
Somewhat, it's changed a little
your
bit.
XB still looks like your XB. It's just evolving.
Yeah.
But, well,
It doesn't look like somebody else's XB. You didn't go and paint it pink. You didn't, put little wheels on it or.
But that's my thing, It's like I want it to be a little bit
It
different.
still looks like rail.
and that's why I haven't got it in paint, because when we get to that, you're like, shit, I don't fucking know.
What are you gonna do after that? I mean, it's got bodywork, it's got paint, it's low, it's got.
Yeah, I mean that's probably.
I don't know about all them.
He's gonna work on a second gen, is what he's gonna do.
I'm gonna let you ride with those stickers. I'm not gonna bust your chops.
No, I think it's cool.
Yeah, it's cool
love 'em.
because you have to.
You love them.
Hey, I zoomed in on almost all of them.
I like them.
But yeah, that's freaking cool, man. I'm really proud of you, and
Yeah, we're all impressed with everything.
Thank you guys.
I'll tell you what, though. He parked next to me at the parking garage party. We have a local show at Elgin thrown by Stance Down Low, and he parked next to me, and I'm like, you don't get to park next to me anymore because nobody, and I'm talking nobody, looked at my car, and I'm like, okay, but he's fresh out of paint. Like, yeah, I don't.
But that's it. Just what, Kevin?
It's an attention thing. Like,
luckily
if
for
I
us,
throw paint graphics on mine, it's gonna change.
Of course,
the,
it'll be like, whoa,
yeah.
nice.
luckily for us, he's moving away, so we don't got to worry about it. But
No, that's not how I wanted that problem to be.
I know.
I didn't want
Solves that problem.
That's not the solution to the problem.
He's like, I'm moving. I'm like, yes.
well, no, the solution to the problem would be to just paint my shit. That would be the solution.
Well, that's gonna happen.
There's
But
a
It's
little
gonna
push.
happen,
There's a
but I
little
can't.
push.
Rome wasn't built in a day, and
Yeah, of
I'm
course,
kind
of
of
course.
busy. I have to work.
work.
I have to be an adult sometimes. So.
No adulting.
Being an adult blows. So if you're like a kid, just be a kid.
Yeah, don't grow up fast.
Don't grow up too fast.
Look what happened to Toys R Us.
Oh man.
Don't talk to me about Toys R Us. Like,
Yeah, but you know what? I didn't go. I haven't been there in years, so that's why it's gone.
what
Shit.
That scared me too.
All right. Well, I guess the compressor was running low on air. So.
Note to self: turn that off before that. You guys are all
That was
laughing your
great.
ass off. We're all like,
That scared the
"What
shit
the fuck?"
What the fuck was that? And I'm like, oh, it's the compressor.
So
loud.
anyway, we are about there, guys. We made
We
it.
are about there. We are at near the end of our hour of your time.
What else we got?
I think that's about all I got.
You got
Our
shout outs?
next what?
Shout outs?
We're getting to it.
Well, let's do shout outs and let's talk about
Break's
stupid
gonna
shit.
hopefully be on our next show. I'm gonna just leak that out right now because I'm too excited. But Dan, you want to hit us up with your plugs?
Yes. Most recently, Ken Jepson. He did my retrofits on my headlights, which came out awesome.
They do look awesome. I
Yeah.
saw
Yeah,
them
they are.
person.
They
look
are
very,
perfect.
they're
They
very
came
nice.
out way more than I.
Dude, I don't think I zoomed in on the headlights at all. God
Nah,
damn
too
it.
much.
No,
But people
you
have seen
didn't.
them. People have seen them. I posted
Oh,
pictures. You know,
he blew up. He blew
Oh yeah,
up the
he
Scion
guys credit.
community once he
Definitely
put
props
them
to
up.
him. Thank you again. Obviously, you guys, especially you, Jim, you're the one who kind of,
Oh, you didn't even shout me out.
pushed me,
Don't
shoot,
push
way
out
to.
me.
I'm glad,
get
dude.
into
It
this
turned
and
out
everything.
fucking awesome.
Yeah, definitely. And Kevin, you too. I mean, you've always been there. Every time
I'm
I'm with Jim, you're there.
I'm really not of help, but I'm there for more stuff.
You got us. You got me those fog lights down there.
I get people. What I'm there for is I'm really good for giving people ideas. Like we have our club president. He got an S10, and I'm looking at him like, hey, you know what'd be cool is if you did a sliding rag top. And I'm like, and then I'm sitting there like, you know what this thing needs a topper. He's like, yeah, a topper would look good. I'm like, hey, you know what'd be
Lo and
even
behold.
cooler is if you had 2 sliding rag tops. And like, what was it? 3 months later,
You got it,
he
yeah.
had 2 sliding
Yeah.
rag tops.
You're
and
like
it's a
that.
hit.
You're like that little voice in
I
the
have
back of
that
everyone's
idea.
head.
I get ideas.
Yeah, you're that
every
idea.
once
You're
in a
just kind
while.
of like whispering them, and then we're like, you know what? I just had an idea. And
And
it
sometimes
happens.
I know what I'm
Yeah,
doing. Not
of
all the
course.
time, but every once in a while I'm kind of helpful. So
You got any
Yeah.
shout outs?
And then also Josh Ochoa from California. He helped me a lot, guiding me through painting all my insides, all the panels and everything too, kind of step by step. Helped me with that. All the other, obviously big XB guys who I message, for like little bits and pieces here and there.
Yeah.
Eric, Don from, overseas.
Yeah.
Even Travis, everyone's just little pieces here and there. I'm like, hey, how do you do this? Or,
yeah, Don is good
Yeah.
with the parts. I've heard
Exactly,
a lot
yeah.
of nothing but positive reviews from that guy. Nobody's had.
And that's who you
issues.
got your JDM shit through?
Most of it, yeah. Yeah, most of all the JDM stuff on
I
there.
need clear
Don,
glass.
he can definitely hook
I need
it
a
up.
Remind front clip, but I'm not gonna steal Rake's thunder, which I couldn't
Yeah.
anyway because it takes like.
He
takes a while.
has wanted it for a while, and
Yeah.
I'm
He's
part of that.
wanted it, and he pulled the trigger and dropped the cash.
Oh, he got
so
it. He's doing it.
I'm hooking
He's
up with
doing
him
it.
soon, so it's gonna be exciting because
All
it's
right.
coming soon.
Yeah.
But
You got any shout outs?
just my Instagram tag and Wicked Garage, and
Well, you don't have to do that because we got an outro now.
There you go.
Oh, we do that.
Let me give
yeah,
mine.
so
Yeah,
I'm
well, you can
good.
definitely show your Instagram tag.
Yeah,
on
mine's
Yeah.
hentai_xb_kid. That's the Instagram. And lastly, shout out to my girlfriend. You know, she's always been there.
For sure.
Word.
Yeah, you know, supporting me being outside. You know, working on the car when she's like, come on in. I'm like, man.
You gotta like that, man.
Yeah,
like
she's you know, she's definitely, you know, very supportive. So shout out to Nayeli.
For sure. Me, I got a few. First off, I got to talk about Travis Rake. We are going to have you on, brother, and I apologize for kind of throwing you under the bus there.
We had a delay.
No, I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about the fact that last week I'm like, dude, $200 for a bug shield's too much. Yeah, that's cool. I'm sorry. I'm just was putting it out as a thing.
You got to stay off posts like that because I get it, but I don't. Like, I don't have $200 for a bug shield, but they are a pain in the ass.
I just threw it out there as an example. I didn't mean to throw you under the bus.
Well,
so.
no, it is a prime example, but it's. I'm not going to.
You know that saying, sometimes you gotta pay to play.
Right. And Kalani, we got to thank Kalani.
Yeah.
You guys got to see our intro on the way in, and hopefully you enjoy that. Kalani did that, dude. He fucking just, hey, what do you want? Asked me a few questions. Boom,
There you
done.
go.
I got it.
He. First time I heard, I was like, yes.
All I got to say is Morgan Freeman. Who? Another guy I got to do a shout out is to Steve Bell. We're working on a project. I gave him a shout out for a t-shirt thing. He's actually working on a project for us, and hopefully we're going to do something a little different, and hopefully we'll expand on him a little bit and take his shirt thing to another level. Because definitely, dude, I told him, and I'll just kind of say it. We're working on a Raylan box shirt, and dude, I just said, hey, can you do a Raylan box shirt? And he's like, 2 days later, boom.
I gotta hit him up because I want a shirt.
Yeah, he's a guy to go to for shirts.
Yeah, I don't know why I haven't hit him up for a shirt. I've been busy.
Well,
I get derailed. Like I got 10,000 things going.
And I haven't talked to him too much about it. I know he's doing it, and we have the specifics to work out and whatnot. But you know, I hope to hopefully get him to design it, and then he can sell the shirt and make the coin off of it. And then hopefully we can kind of push him into the mini truck thing, because right now all the shirts with the mini trucks is all about the current builds, not necessarily.
Hammered Weekend Wear is all about that. Like drop and wear, kind of they pick and choose certain cars, or like sometimes it's not even a real car. They just the guy draws it up. But like Hammered Weekend Wear will take a build. Like he just did the two shirt Beauty and the Beast. It was two famous mini trucks. I'm not gonna get too far into it. It's two famous mini trucks. They're still hot, and
that's where we can put those icon. And I'm not saying I'm an icon by doing it. I'm
kind of an icon.
I wanted to fucking have a shirt with my thing on it. And maybe some of you guys do too. I don't care. But I thought it'd be kind of cool. I'm not cool enough in mini truck world to get mine that way, so I had to go to somebody.
Blow up the XP
world. XP
so,
peeps.
but yeah, hopefully we can do that with Steve and blow it up, and we can have a rando shirt or a freaking, you know, what is it, XXXB shirt and whatnot. So
XX, dude, they should just take your plate.
I always
Illinois plate and just make that a shirt.
I always tagged him like that on Instagram.
Exactly,
if you look up the tag,
hey, that's an idea for a shirt. You could get your vanity plate on your shirt and just rock it.
There you go. Steve,
at a car show, and then everybody can do that.
Well,
no,
that's
no. But wait a minute.
We should be able to get cool vanity plate shirts.
Everybody's blurring out their plate.
For no reason.
Why?
That's ridiculous.
Fuck that. My plate is it's an XB, State of Illinois. My tags are good. Whatever. Like, the only way you're going to find it is if you find a crooked cop or you're a cop. And if you look it up, big whoop, you got my address, big deal. Then what?
That's it.
What are you going to do with that? You can't do anything with that.
Civilians can't really get any of that personal info.
I think people are just paranoid of,
they are.
You know, Big Brother watching them, but I don't think they really care. But
I think
let's wrap this thing up. We're
done.
We have stuff to do.
We got a new outro for you guys as well. So
Outro's coming at you.
We don't even have to say what the sponsors are or where you can find us.
We got that all covered.
So thanks a lot, guys. And we're out, and we'll see you again in another 2 weeks. And I'm going to go over here and grab Kevin's package.
Whoa.
And the mouse is dead.
What up, y'all? Yeah. Soundtrack, what's poppin', baby? Woo! Y'all ain't know, I go by the name of Lupe Fiasco, representing that first and 15. Yeah, and this one right here, I dedicate this one right here to all my homies out there grinding. You know what I'm saying? Legally and illegally. You know what I'm talking about? So, check it out. First got it when he was 6, didn't know any tricks. Matter of fact, first time he got on it, he slipped, landed on his hip and busted his lip. For a week he had to talk with a lisp like this. Now we can end the story right here, but shorty didn't quit, it was something in the air. Yeah, he said it was something so appealing, he couldn't fight the feeling, something about it. He knew he couldn't doubt it, couldn't understand it. Branded, since the first kick flip he landed. Labeled a misfit, a bandit. Cocoon, cocoon, cocoon. His neighbors couldn't stand it, so he was banished to the park. Started in the morning, one stopped after dark. Yeah, when they said it's getting late in here, so I'm sorry young man, there's no skating here. And so we kick, push, kick, push, kick, push, kick, push, coast. And away he rolled, just a rebel to the world with no place to go. And so we kick, push, kick, push, kick, push, kick, push, coast. So come and skate with me, just a rebel.